Thank you, Harry.
There we go.
Okay, now I guess it's official. Just like to remind everybody that we are on Facebook. We also have a LinkedIn page. We also have a web page. If you don't, you should read the weekly bulletin that Valerie puts together. It's a quick read, gives you a sense of what's going on. Everybody should have received my musings. It's a rather long one. I apologize for that. But I'm going to be sending those out hopefully every week. It may be every other week, just to give you a sense of another perspective of what's going on at the club, especially some of the deliberations that we have at the board meeting. And our first board meeting under my leadership, so there'll probably be a palace coup about 8 o'clock tonight. The board will be meeting tonight, and then we meet every second Tuesday, and you are more than welcome to join as a member of this club. It's your club, it's not the board's club. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Richard for invocation and pledge.
Thank you, President Edwards. And before we do today's invocation, I'd like to start off by saying thank you to all that prepare our food and all those who serve us here today. The food is delicious. I've been hearing compliments. So if we could have this again, that would be great. But thank you, everyone. Today's invocation will be a poem by Edgar Albert Geist called Gratitude. Be grateful for the kindly friends that walk along your way. Be grateful for the skies of blue that smile from day to day. Be grateful for the health you own, the work you find to do. For round about you, there are men less fortunate than you. Be grateful for the growing trees, the roses soon to bloom, the tenderness of kindly hearts that shared your days of gloom. Be grateful for the morning dew, the grass beneath your feet, the soft caress of your babes, and all their laughter sweet. Acquire the grateful habit. Learn to see how blessed you are, how much there is to gladden life, how little life to mar. And what if rain shall fall today and you with grief are sad? Be grateful that you can recall the joys that you have had. Thank you all very much. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesty of the fruited plains. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. President Edwards.
Nothing against everybody singing, but you really need a slap on the back. Linda, we have some guests. So,
Sorry, she is a recipient for Tyrion from Honolulu.
we'll be going, when he's going back, and we'll be good. It's a little bit cooler having worked out there. Okay, and we have another guest, correct, Tom? Do we have a guest, another guest? No?
Tom over.
Yes.
Yes. You know, Bob?
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry.
I haven't been it forever. Thank you, everybody. Tom, who? Damn, Tom, who?
Okay, do we have any guests on the Zoom? Do we know?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
That's how I know.
Alan Shapiro, who will be our speaker, is on Zoom. But we'll be hearing from him in a little bit. Please don't forget the cart buckets. Even although it may be summer and we think we're on vacation, ALS never stops affecting everybody in this world. So please contribute. You can either put money in if you're here in the bucket, or send an email or a text to Linda. And believe me, we will bill you. Upcoming meetings, next week, David Bohm, who is the director of My Future MC, will be here. Don't forget that on August the 23rd, the district governor and Angela Kendorf Jameson will be here. And please, we need to have a full house, otherwise I'm taken out to the woodshed. John Canal, would you please come up?
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I got a phone call on Saturday afternoon from Edith Simpson. And she asked if I would do her a favor, if I would be willing to read the thank you note that she wrote to everybody in the club. And so I was honored, willing to do so. Bear with me, this will take longer than it should. A guy can't help it if his parents decide he's going to grow up in Macon, Georgia. Dear Rotarians, when Dr. John Caldwell many years ago invited Bill to join the Raleigh Rotary Club, saying we need some young men, Bill was a young man. Having been born in Raleigh, he knew many of the older distinguished members, but he never had time to socialize with them. He would arrive in time for lunch and depart after the program. Upon his retirement, that was a different story. How he enjoyed having time to meet and mingle with everyone and make so many new friends. Rotary Club became a bright place in his life. Someone told me that he and Robert had a special dining table where each week they sat and held court and sold lottery tickets to see who could sit with them. Thank you for the lovely flowers which brighten our home and my heart. Thank you all for your expressions of sympathy and concern for me and your many beautiful words expressing your love and appreciation for Bill. Above all, thank you for the joy you brought into his life. With my deep gratitude, Edith.
Quite a few of us were able to attend his memorial service 3-4 weeks ago, I guess it is now. It was very moving. It was also very moving just to see the outpouring of love for him and for Edith from so many people. Great event and a great person. Nicolette, service projects.
So great news, we have only 2 spots left.
Woohoo!
So what are you all doing the afternoon of July 24th? You can sign up to be sunflower ambassadors for Dorothea Dix Park from 11:30 to 3 p.m. It's a great opportunity to represent and amplify Rotary, a great service project. And either before or after, you can take your own tour of these wonderful sunflowers. Feel free to either sign up in the link in the newsletter or email me or Sarah Reeves.
One thing I'd like to point out is the board is ahead of me, which is great. They're already hard at it. Both Nicolette with Service Projects, Harrison is committed to what, 20 new members by next week? 200. Before Harrison comes up, Christy, can you join me, please? There's two things, since you were out partying for a while. One is recognition of a year of service, a year of perfect attendance. Thank you very much. And this is a recognition, a certificate of appreciation for all of her hard work for the last 2 years as membership chair. She jumped into it. You had been a member for a year, not yet. And without any question, jumped in and replaced Eva, who was off to bear her first child and did a fantastic job. So thank you, Kristen. Harrison, AKA Christie.
Is that what I've always been called? AKA. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, Christy, you shouldn't have done as good of a job as you did as a membership, because it makes my job that much harder to fill those shoes or those high heels, which you know is a big. Yeah, interesting. So a little bit about myself. I actually went to school to be a pastor originally. I thought I was going to go to ministry full time before jumping into banking. Every time I get up in the front of a whole bunch of people, I realized that would have been a horrible mistake if I had gone into full-time ministry, because I'm just sweating already up here. But anyways, guys, got some great news. Today we have our first reading for the NC Dental Society. So today we have our first reading for potential new corporate member, NC Dental Society. The North Carolina Dental Society was founded in 1856 and is one of the oldest dental societies in the country. They represent about more than 3,900 member dentists in North Carolina and are headquartered in Cary, North Carolina. The North Carolina Dental Society will be represented by Chief Innovation Officer Duncan Jennings and Executive Director Dr. Alec Parker. We are extremely honored and excited to have them as a potential new corporate member. And we also have our second reading today for Eduardo Rodriguez. Eduardo is Vice President and Commercial Relationship Manager for PNC Bank. He was the past president of the Apex Rotary Club. He's been coming to our meetings here for about 2 months now, I think. So very excited to have you become a new member of our Rotary group, especially with your past history of being the president. I know you'll have a lot of value to add. So thank you so much. If you haven't had an opportunity to meet Eduardo, or if you have any questions about our corporate member, please email me or text me or find me after the meeting. The last thing, just something I'm excited about. So this is my first 5th meeting as the membership chair. So we have our first 5th meeting, which will be on Thursday, July 29th at 5:30. We're going to be doing this at Linwood Brewing Concern over there off of Whitaker Mill, over at the loading dock. So please show out in huge droves, because this is my first 5th meeting. I want to make sure we have a big appearance there to make it feel good. But also, I will say that last week I asked each one of you, what is your why? Like, why Rotary? And I hope that last week you took time to think about why Rotary. Like, why are you Rotarian? Why do you take hours out of your week to spend and dedicate time to Rotary? I hope also that you took that why and shared it with somebody. So I have 2 challenges. One, it is so good to be in a room that see Rotary members I haven't seen in a long time. So thank you guys for coming. So this is a good opportunity to look around the room real quick and find someone that either you don't know or you haven't seen in a long time. Pick that person out. All right, connect with them after the meeting, and then plan on getting a beer together at Linwood Brewing Concern and catching up, okay? And then also, if you know everybody in the room, then share your why with somebody that you don't know, that you do know that's not a Rotarian, and invite them to the 5th meeting. It's a great opportunity for us to show our value as Rotarians to non-members. So that's all I've got today.
Thank you. Can I have my program back?
Sorry, stole yours. Sorry.
All right. Nicolette referenced this, and thank you for doing that. So one of the things, if you read my letter to the members, is amplify Rotary. Tom has already started this aggressively, getting placement in various media here in Raleigh about what we do. The World Bank does not know that Rotary exists, as an example, or they didn't about 6 months ago. They now do. So if they don't, what about most people here in Wake County? And one of the missions of Rotary International that this club is going to be a leader in is to get the word out of what we do, whether it's being a sunflower ambassador. It's a special project that we individually do to help somebody else in our community. We need to get the word out what we do, because we are a powerful organization. We're one of the few organizations, service organizations in the world that's actually holding its own and actually growing a little bit. I think the Kiwanis clubs here in Raleigh went from 7 to 1 in the last 2 years. This was even pre-COVID. They were starting to unfortunately disappear, and that's a great organization as well. So think about who you know in the media, all different types of media, and let's start talking up what we do. It's really important. Additional announcements, birthdays. Kevin, there you are, newly retired.
Well, I'm turning 60 tomorrow, so I want to retire before I turn 60. Rub it in.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Randy Woodson, anniversaries, Randy and Susan Woodson, the day after tomorrow, and also the day after tomorrow, our new grandfather, past president, Jim and Lynn Dorset. Welcome back.
Thank you. And I have a few hundred photos and videos I can share. Sorry to the best grandchild by an impartial committee. Thank you. It's great to be back and see everybody.
Is it warmer here than in Switzerland?
Yes, just a little bit.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, are there any other business to be brought before the club? Hearing none, we're going to launch into our presentation this afternoon. Alan Shapiro, who is with the Turnpike Authority, which is part of the NCDOT where I used to work, is going to give us an update on the 540 project, which is slowly getting around Raleigh. It's a few years out, but if you've been down 40 headed to Wrightsville or Wilmington, you'll see a mess of earth that's moved, lots of trees that have disappeared, and that's where 540 is going to come in on the south side of the city. Alan joined the Turnpike Authority in September of 17. It's about the same time that I rejoined the DOT. Prior to that, he had spent 10 years in construction contract administration at the DOT. And before that, he was an assistant Division 5 construction engineer. We are in Division 5. There's 14 divisions that cover the state from Murphy to Manteo. As a roadway manager for the Turnpike Authority, Alan is responsible for the maintenance and operations of the 18.8 mile Turnpike, or Triangle Expressway, as it's called, in Wake and Durham counties. And of course, that eventually will be doubled, I guess, when it's finally built out. He oversees the Turnpike Authority's Traffic Management Center. You see the photos sometimes on WRAL of accidents or congestion. That all comes from the operations center out near RTP. Let's see what else. He's also responsible for all of the routine maintenance activity work zones. And please, and I saw this coming back from Boom yesterday, if it's a work zone and people are in the work zone, slow down. Or flash your lights if you see some idiot going through. I didn't have to, but one of the first events when I joined DOT was our Secretary Tennyson, had to go and visit with the family of a worker, a DOT worker who had been killed in one of those work zones. People seem to think that they want to speed up when they go through a work zone. Beats the heck out of me, but please don't be one of those. Alan received his Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from guess where?
NC State.
Thank you. And is a licensed professional engineer here in the state of North Carolina. With that, I think we're ready to go, Alan.
All right, thank you for that introduction. Can I get a verification that sound is coming through okay?
Good to go.
All right, perfect. Before I get started, I want to say, Mr. Edwards, thank you for that word about work zones. It doesn't get said nearly enough, and there's a lot of guys and girls out there put their lives on the line. So I do appreciate you mentioning that. And again, I apologize. I would have loved to have been there in person this morning or this afternoon, but someone put another virtual meeting right before this one that ended at 12:30. And now that we're moving back in person, we need to start leaving more travel time in. So I apologize for being here in what looks like my dungeon of an office that was not designed well for virtual meetings. So I apologize that I'm looking a little dark, but I did see you all eating lunch, so it may be a blessing in disguise. So I will start my presentation. Before I lose it, just want to get a confirmation you can see the presentation before I go into presentation mode.
You were good to go.
All right. Fantastic. So thank you again for having us this afternoon. At the Turnpike Authority, we are about more than just operating and maintaining our toll facilities. In addition to our aesthetics and other amenities, Turnpike Authority is always looking for ways to improve safety and the driver experience. So this is a map of the network of Turnpike Authority projects across the state. And our network is growing as we continue to serve North Carolina's rapidly increasing population. The green projects are projects that are now open to traffic, while the white and blue projects are in various stages of development or construction. Currently, Turnpike Authority operates and maintains two facilities, the Triangle Expressway here in the Raleigh-Durham area and the Monroe Expressway in the Charlotte-Monroe area. And the Turnpike Authority collects the tolls on the I-77 express lanes in Charlotte. There are 4 projects currently under construction. Those are the I-485 express lanes in Charlotte and the 3 complete 540 projects, which we'll talk about in a little bit. US 74, I-485, and I-77 are part of an express lane network in the Charlotte area. And express lanes use dynamic tolling, where the toll rates change based on demand to guarantee a minimum speed in those express lanes. So our toll payment program at North Carolina Turnpike is NC Quick Pass, and it is one of the most interoperable toll payment programs in the United States. NC Quick Pass offers customers in the 18 states in blue a better commute and an easier way to pay, which means the Turnpike Authority is the most interoperable toll agency in the nation. Customers in these 18 states can use their transponders on Turnpike Authority facilities, and conversely, those agencies accept the Turnpike's transponders on their facilities. And here is where we offer our marketing slide, where you can get an NC Quick Pass transponder for free, and it can save you up to 35% on your tolls compared to the bill by mail rate anywhere on North Carolina, and which includes the Triangle Expressway. First, I'll give you an introduction to some of the services that Turnpike Authority provides, and follow that by a few examples of our safety and innovation efforts. As mentioned before, this is a picture of the Traffic Management Center, or TMC, located here in Raleigh. From here, the Turnpike Authority and other DOT facilities are monitored over 3 separate shifts, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. On Turnpike Authority routes, we have dedicated State Highway Patrol and Incident Management Assistance Patrol, or IMAP, shifts during the weekday working hours. And on all statewide routes, there is an increased storm response during inclement weather events like hurricanes and snow and ice storms. Just under the TMC banner in the top left corner, you may be able to make out a bank of windows on the top of that wall. The room that's on the other side of those windows is where the State Emergency Response Team, which is under the North Carolina Emergency Management umbrella, they're located there. And it's really beneficial to have that CERT team co-located with the STOC operators here you see on the screen. If an operator notices an incident anywhere on one of those video wall screens, they can quickly call up to the CERT team behind them, say, hey, I need you to look at monitor number 34. We've got an incident out on I-40, and then the CERT team can dispatch emergency response. So it really cuts down on that response time, which we all know that seconds equal lives when it comes to some of these more serious incidents that we have on our facilities. So at the Turnpike Authority, we are constantly looking for ways to improve safety for our customers. Some of these efforts are internal to us at the Turnpike, but we also collaborate with DOT on efforts that they may be undertaking. So we have 4 different wrong way driver technologies installed as part of a pilot project on Triangle Expressway, and we hope to very soon determine the system that we like best to implement throughout the Triangle Expressway and on the complete 540 projects. So on the screen here is a picture of the installation at the Davis Drive off-ramp off of NC 147 in Durham. And I'll quickly run through how this system works. So we're taking this picture from the stop bar at Davis Drive and looking the wrong way up this exit ramp. And you can see that there's a vehicle on NC 147 in the background of the picture. So once a vehicle makes the wrong way movement, like we're shown here, this pole has 2 different cameras set up, one facing towards the stop bar here and one facing back to, down the ramp towards Triangle Expressway. So once the vehicle enters the ramp the wrong way, this first camera picks it up, excuse me, and that triggers the 2 sets of flashing beacon signs that we have wrong way, do not enter on. And if the first set here at the top of the ramp is unsuccessful in alerting the motorists of their wrong way movement, we've got the second set down here closer to Triangle Expressway to try and alert them again that they're going the wrong way. I can say that we have had quite a few wrong way drivers at this ramp, but with the help of the cameras that send email notifications to a select group of users, we can actually see the vehicles self-correct and not enter Triangle Expressway. And as a matter of fact, we had a wrong way driver yesterday, I believe it was yesterday morning around 11 o'clock, make this wrong way movement. And we were able to see them self-correct somewhere down around here, around the second set of signs with this second camera. We saw them turn around. So we have not had any wrong way drivers enter Triangle Expressway, so we're very excited about the future of this technology. Now, obviously, this technology is not cheap, and so on some of our other exit ramps, we have installed 24/7 LED enhanced solar powered wrong way signs. And so here you can see this is on the Hobson Road exit from NC 147 southbound. And these signs flash 24/7, solar powered, as you can see by the solar power panel on the top. But these are much more economical, enhanced wrong way driver product that we can install throughout the Triangle Expressway and even on Monroe Expressway, other facilities that we're going to have to help with our wrong way driver initiative. All right, so last I'll cover a few of the cutting edge innovation efforts that Turnpike Authority is a part of. So Easy Pass, which is one of our sister toll collection programs in the north, has started a pilot for pay by car. And what this does, it allows you to pay for things via your smartphone and no longer needing to actually do a transaction with a credit or a debit card. One of the first things that the pilot is doing is gas payments. And you can see here on the screen, we have 3 participating locations in North Carolina that have the pay by car as an option. And so once you have signed up for the account, the Bluetooth turned on your phone, it will actually sense when you pull into the gas station, and it will ask you which pump that you would like to have turned on, and you select that on your phone and the pump turns on. So it prevents you from having to go into the store for a payment transaction, or even using the payment option at the pump. So very excited for the future of pay by car. They're thinking that this could eventually lead to fast food restaurants, things like that, where you can turn on a pay by car and have a cashless transaction or even a cardless transaction in the future. So very exciting. So this is a map of the current Triangle Expressway open to traffic. It starts at I-40 in Durham and runs to NC 55 in Holly Springs. Complete 540 Phase 1, which is under construction now, begins at the end of the existing facility and runs and ends to at the existing I-40 US 70 interchange in Garner. So let's say you have a friend or a colleague who lives in Garner and works in RTP. More than likely, their route in the morning is to take I-40 West all the way through Raleigh to get to the Triangle Park. And then when it's time to head home, they'll take I-40 East and almost inevitably always sit in some type of traffic congestion. So what Complete 540 will be able to serve as when it is finished is almost a bypass around Raleigh. But even if you're not going to travel the entire length of the facility, we're going to have 17 interchanges that'll help our customers access all points in between. All right, so let's get into the update on construction. So here on the screen are the 3 projects that compose Complete 540 Phase 1. You can see the TIP numbers in the bottom of the screen. The smallest project is R2721A, the middle project R2721B, and the largest project R2828. And in the bottom right corner, you can see the 7 new interchanges that are going to be added to the Triangle Expressway when Complete 540 Phase 1 opens. So here's some quick information about all 3 projects. R2721A is being built by a joint venture of Branch Civil and Flatiron Constructors. Their lead design firm is Gannett Fleming, and that contract has a construction cost of just over $183 million. R2721B also being built by a joint venture of Branch Civil and Flatiron Constructors, but their lead design firm on the B project is HDR, and that construction cost of $160 million. The last project, the biggest, R2828, being built by a joint venture of Lane Construction and Blythe Construction, and their lead design firm is WSP with a construction cost of just over $403 million. So here is an update of construction as of July 1st. You can see this is the bridge construction, and typically on new location projects, bridge construction and culvert construction happens first to give you access throughout the entire project corridor. The R2828 project, which is in the blue color, was the one that was awarded first. So they have actually started quite a few more bridges than the other projects, but they also have quite a few more, as you can see, on that project, mostly because of the turbine interchange, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. Here's an update on some of the culvert construction, and we have actually completed 13 culverts as of July 1st across the corridor. Quite a few more under construction and a handful that have not quite started yet. All right, so let's dig in a little bit deeper to each of the projects. So again, the smallest project, R2721A, begins at the end of the existing facility in Holly Springs and runs to just east of Pierce Olive Road. So an interesting design feature of the R2721A project is a diverging diamond interchange, or DDI, is going to be constructed at the Holly Springs Road interchange. If you don't know what a DDI is, I'll give you a really quick introduction to it. DDIs are intended to promote freer access from the Y line, which we're calling Holly Springs Road here, to the main line, which is toll 540. If this was a normally designed interchange and you were the orange vehicle wanting to turn left onto toll 540, you would come up the right side of the road and you would have to sit at this traffic signal and wait for a protected left turn or a permitted left turn with a gap in oncoming traffic. So what DDIs do, they switch traffic over to the other side of the road through the interchange and allow for the orange vehicle, in this case, to free flow onto the facility and no longer have to wait at that traffic signal. So that's a really quick introduction to DDIs. You can see in the bottom left corner is a graphic rendering of what the DDI is actually going to look like. If you want some more information in Google, all you need to do is type in NCDOT diverging diamond interchange, and the department has a whole web page devoted to illustrations, to details about DDIs. As a matter of fact, this is not going to be the only DDI in the next few years in the Raleigh-Wake County area. The 440 widening project that's going on around NC State campus, there's going to be one of these DDIs installed at the Western Boulevard interchange with 440. So here we got just a couple of drone photos of some of the construction that's going on. This is the end of the existing facility at NC 55. You can see that this is the all traffic exit. Typically, exiting traffic would take both of the loops, but we've done a temporary traffic shift, and all traffic is exiting to the left loop via a temporary exit loop on the back to allow the contractor to construct the new exit loop on the right side of the screen. You can see where the contractor is widening out for the new bridge to carry eastbound 540 traffic. You can see the interior bent that's constructed right there in the median of NC 55. And so when that's done, then these two sister bridges will carry eastbound and westbound respectively. And moving just a little bit farther up the project, this is where construction takes off from the existing facility. You can see in the middle background of the picture is the bridge construction that will go over NC 540 over East William Street. And here's a little bit more of a close-up picture of that. And you can get a really good idea of how the facility is going to take off with the clearing that's been done and start turning to the right there once you get around to the background of the screen. So the middle project is R2721B. It begins at the end of the A project, and it will end just east of US 401 at Wake Tech campus. So here is, in the foreground is Rhodes Road that will be dead-ended on the left side of the screen. And this is looking towards the Bells Lake interchange. You can see some of the bridge construction that has started for the two mainline bridges in the middle of the screen and the exit ramp bridge on the right side. You can make out some of the bent construction that started there. Those bridges are traveling over streams and wetlands. This is a picture of the Optimus Farm realignment that's done as a spot safety project incorporated into this project to relocate Optimus Farm to a more conducive intersection right there on the left side of the screen. Right now, there were offset T intersections and just was not very conducive to good traffic flow. So we're realigning Optimus Farm Road for a better level of service for that intersection. This is Culvert 17 looking west at US 401 there in the background. You can see this culvert will eventually carry a stream, and we are not in the business of stopping streams and wetlands. So we actually build clean water diversions, which you see there in the middle of the screen with the black tarp. And so we actually divert the stream into that diversion ditch to allow the contractor a dry work area to build the culvert. And then that still allows aquatic life and those aquatic resources to pass through the project. And then once the culvert is done and accepted, the contractor will pull the shoring that diverted the stream, and they will turn it into the creek, or excuse me, into the culvert, where it will continue to flow through the project. Again, that's US 401 in the background. and this is a picture from the other side of US 401, looking back towards where that culvert was. You can kind of make out on the right side of the screen where one of the exit ramps is starting to take a little shape as it leaves the main line and straightens out as it heads towards US 401 for that, that exit ramp. This is Old McCullers. Excuse me. In the bottom of the screen are two new stabilized streams that carry water from two of the culverts that we saw, like one we saw earlier. Two of those culverts that travel under NC 540, and they meet here at this double barrel culvert under Old McCullers and continue on. So the last project, the biggest, R2828, begins at the end of the B project and ends at the current I-40 US 70 future NC 540 turbine interchange. You don't know what the turbine interchange is, that's okay. We'll talk about it here in just a second. So this is an artist rendering of what the turbine interchange will look like when construction of phase 1 is done. You may notice that there are two different colors of roads there. There's a dark gray asphalt looking color and then a lighter tan looking dirt color. And there's a reason for that. The R2828 contractor will be required to build up to a certain point the tan alignments that you see, the tan roadways. When Complete 540 phase 1 is open, traffic will not be driving on those alignments, only the gray asphalt alignments that you see here. When phase 2 is awarded, that contractor will finish paving the tan alignments that you see here. And once phase 2 is open all the way back up to I-87, these gray asphalt alignments. And here's just another picture of some bridge construction that I thought was kind of interesting. That's new Holland Church Road there in the background. This is bridge 4 and 5 on the R2828 project. So here we're going to look at a drone video that will shoot a 360 panorama so you can see just kind of the sheer size of the clearing that's been done right here. In the background is US 70 heading towards Clayton, and it'll spin in a counterclockwise direction. And in the background here, I'll pause it so we can see. So these are the US 70 bridges that go over existing I-40 now, with downtown Raleigh there in the background. And you can make out just south of the bottom US 70 bridge that there's two interior bends that are being constructed in the median of I-40. Those two bridges, when finished, will carry mainline Triangle Expressway traffic, and the two US 70 bridges will be demoed, and US 70 traffic will be put on the turbine of the outer turbine of the interchange. And here are what we like to refer to on the project as the three bridges. These were the first three that the contractor started on. And it was a big milestone that the contractor was able to get the bridge deck finished, get it protected, to allow him access across I-40 from both sides, which is going to definitely speed up production, moving materials a lot easier, whereas before they were having to take a long trip around because they couldn't cross I-40 at that time. And as we finish up our 360, this is looking in the direction of I-40 East towards the I-95 interchange, Johnston County. All right, so just a little bit about the community outreach that we've done as part of the project. So over the last 2 years, you can see the number of meetings that we've had in each year respectively. We've already eclipsed this year the number of virtual/hybrid meetings this year, and we've already eclipsed the number of participants that we've had. And Raleigh Rotary will be our 24th meeting. For informing our residents with the postcards and next door posts, we like to send out what we like to call Dear Neighbors. And we have been able to localize the postcards that we send to specific neighborhoods to let them know of work that might be upcoming in the future that they might be able to see, might be able to hear. So we try to specialize that to those neighborhoods. You know, as we've mentioned, we've got, you know, almost 20 miles worth of project here. And so someone in Holly Springs may not really care about what's going on in Garner. So we've been able to specialize that to those neighborhoods, let them know when they may have clearing equipment, might have any bridge piles that are going to be driven, just let them know in the coming weeks what they might be able to expect to see or hear. And for resident inquiries, we have a dedicated phone hotline as well as an email hotline for Complete 540 that's monitored by a consultant for the Turnpike. And you can see the number of voicemail phone calls and emails that we've responded to over the last 2 years. So in addition to our residential outreach, Turnpike Authority has taken a proactive approach to reaching out to several different entities. We are in constant contact with the various municipalities along the corridor to ensure that their needs and wants are incorporated as much as possible. And we are continuously letting businesses and emergency services know when we anticipate periodic closures, because those closures can at times have an effect on accesses. And lastly, but certainly not least, we are also in constant contact with our federal partners at FHWA, making sure that they are kept apprised of all of our project updates. So if you want to see what's going on at any one time on the project, we have a way you can do that on the Complete 540 webpage. And here's a quick video of how you do that. So from the Complete 540 webpage, you can scroll down to the interactive map. And on this map, it will show you the current construction activities that are going on at any one time. You can zoom in to any one of those orange barrels and click on it to see the details of that particular operation. If you live close enough to the project, you can click on the Show My Location and you can see what's going on in and around your area. So here is how you can get in touch with us. As I mentioned, there is the Complete 540 webpage. We have the Complete 540 email at ncdot.gov, our hotline. You can see there, and we're also on Twitter. Our two Twitter handles are at NC Turnpike and at NC QuickPass. And that concludes the presentation, and I will be happy to take any questions that anybody has.
Any questions for Alan? Richard?
Alan, thank you so much. Fantastic presentation. And I don't think I appreciated the scope and magnitude of these projects until I saw that drone footage that you showed. It was just massive. I wondered, who is doing the work on these projects? Is the work being done entirely by North Carolinians? Who's providing the labor?
So that's a good question. A lot of the general laborers are from the area. Our contractors have done a good job of employing local folks from around here. A lot of their subcontractors are not local to the Raleigh area, but local to North Carolina. There are just an unbelievable number of specialty subcontractors who do ITS work, who do paving. We have two of the projects. The A and the B project has a local paving contractor, Barnhill Contracting, here out of the Raleigh area. They're doing the paving. So yeah, there's so many local folks who are out there on a daily basis for the prime contractors, but also for those specialty subcontractors as well.
Any other?
Yep.
Oh, Kirk.
When's this all going to be done?
So currently we are projecting in 2023 having complete 540 phase 1 open.
That's just a little to Holly Springs or whatever?
So we're already open. We're already open to Holly Springs, but the 3 projects that we talked about today, all the way to I-40, all three of those sections. Yeah. So it would be from I-40 to I-40.
So 2023.
Yes, sir. Late 2023 is what we're projecting right now.
I would like to actually see it. Excellent. Can outlive one.
Alan, what kind of, how would you quantify the relief that project will afford to I-40 traffic?
So I don't have the specifics, but I know that we have had our consultant run a traffic and revenue forecast for the project, and personally, I can just imagine the number of heavy trucks using I-40 that come from Wilmington, from the ports to heading west on I-40 that will no longer be needing to come through Raleigh. And so I really think that there's just going to be a lot of relief to the normal passenger on I-40 through Raleigh, alleviating that congestion. And it's coming at a great time too with the I-40 widening project that's going on right now. So with these 2 projects, coming at this time, I can just see a lot of relief to the typical daily I-40 traveler.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Is this gonna be a toll road? And if so, how long will it be a toll road for?
It's a good question. So yeah, the southern part of I-40 is going to be tolled. This section will be tolled as well. The general statutes require that once the bonds that have been sold to
That was on purpose.
Yeah.
You should think like it.
Question stumped.
Okay, so
Once they're paid for.
once the bonds are paid for.
Did I lose you?
Yeah,
there you are.
You're back, you're back.
Okay, sorry. Did you catch any of the answer?
I was just about to say it. Go ahead, finish up.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so general statute requires that once all of the bonds that have been sold and the loans that have been provided have been paid off, then the toll comes off of the facility. So once those bonds are paid back, our TIFIA loan with FHWA is repaid, then the toll comes off.
Kirk, you and I probably won't see that day.
yeah.
I just want to let you know. Any other questions? Alan, thank you again. If you were here, is Hedwig following?
You're good.
We would love to present you with the Raleigh Club's coffee mug, because I know how Bohm works, the former head of the Turnpike Authority, and he keeps his people working 16 hours a day, 7 days, sometimes down to 6 days a week. So you need what normally would be in this coffee cup a lot. But thank you very much for coming and presenting a fantastic update on the project, which is very important to the county and to the state. Thank you, Dave.
Appreciate it.
So again, thanks and congratulations to Christy for a job well done. Don't forget to sign up to be an ambassador. 2 more slots, right, for the afternoon. I actually take one off, I'll come out. So only 1 more person. Come on, it's our club, so let's get out there and support the community that we are in. Don't forget the social over at the Linwood Brewing Concern on the 29th of this month. Aloha. And next time you want to come back, please, Caitlin. Thank you very much. Coming all the way from Honolulu. I think I'd go the other way, but that's just me. So to close the meeting, if we'll all rise and do the 4-way test, please. Of the things we say and do. 1.
Is the truth?
2.
Is it fair to all concerned?
3.
Will build goodwill and unite friendships.
4.
Will be beneficial to all concerned.
We are adjourned.
Congrats.